Sherazad, and as Mehdi said, I'm very, very, very happy to be here. I'm from Concordia University in Montreal, in Quebec. So I'm the only university here from Quebec. Has anyone here been to Montreal or Quebec before? All right, we've got a couple. Good. That's amazing. So when I left Montreal a couple of days ago to come, this has been a really interesting winter because all sorts of stuff has been falling out from the sky. So usually it's snow, but this winter we got a lot of freezing rain. And so I'm very, very happy to have escaped that and to be here with you. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Concordia University. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Center for Continuing Education, which is a center within Concordia University. Has anyone here heard of Concordia before? All right, okay, so you guys know, you should be telling me a little bit about Concordia. All right, so let's get this party started. All right, so Concordia is in Montreal, in the province of Quebec. So as you know, in Canada we speak English and French, but Quebec is the main French-speaking province in Canada. Montreal, however, is a very, very bilingual city. In Montreal, we speak both English and French, and even at work, I'd say it's pretty bilingual. But within Montreal, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more, we really have many, many, many universities. And we have universities that are French medium universities and English medium universities. So Concordia is one of the English medium universities in Montreal. Does anyone know what the second one is? It's very famous. It starts with an M. McGill, that's right. Okay. So in Montreal, we have two English-speaking universities, McGill and Concordia. McGill is very well known internationally, but so is Concordia, and I have to say in the last couple of years Concordia has been growing a lot. So why Montreal? This is a really hard question for me to summarize in a minute or two, because I could just keep going on and on and on about Montreal. So I went to Montreal as an international student myself, and I stayed because it's such an incredible place to be. Montreal was voted the world's best city for students to study in by the QS rankings in 2017, and it got bumped into second place by Melbourne in Australia. And so, as I mentioned before, Montreal is bilingual, and that really adds a lot of richness to the experience in Canada. Canada is a very diverse country, very much like India. So even when you're moving between provinces, you'll be quite surprised by how different a lot of the local cultures can be. And Montreal really is very unique in that it provides you with access to both the English-Canadian world, but also the French-Canadian world, which is very, very interesting. Montreal is, you'll have to excuse me, I'm a little bit sick, so I'm hoping I'm not going to lose my voice. Montreal is a big hub. We have a lot of growing industries in Montreal. Some of the big industries in Montreal include the entertainment industry, film production, animation, etc. Gaming is a huge industry in Montreal. Aerospace, Bombardier is based in Montreal. But also, with time, artificial intelligence is becoming really, really big. Montreal is really defining itself as a city for artificial intelligence and high tech. And so what's happening in Montreal right now is that there's a shortage of skilled labor and skilled workers. And this is something that, that they've been talking about for the last couple of years in terms of how to address this shortage. And that's going to be very important when I talk to you a little bit about Concordia's continuing education. Montreal is also, Montreal is amazing in terms of all the things that you can do all year round. You know, in the summer there are free festivals. We're very well known for the Jazz Festival, the Film Festival. and everything in between, like you name it, you know, whether it's theater or blues music. But it's also it's an excellent place, and I think when students are looking for a place to study in, you know, you're looking for a place with a lot of opportunities. And I think Montreal is a really interesting place for that, because you have access to a lot of different networks, a lot of different professional events, and a lot of these things are free. That's one of the reasons why I'm still there. I absolutely love going to these events. I learn so much. And I think when you're talking to your students a little bit about why choose Montreal, this is definitely something that's very interesting. So let me tell you a little bit about Concordia. So Concordia has more than 42,000 students. We have 2 campuses. We have one campus in downtown Montreal. I don't have a snazzy virtual tour like Jessica yesterday, but we have a campus downtown, and we also have a campus that's about 20 minutes from downtown, which is a more traditional campus with a nice lawn and older buildings, and our athletic facilities are there. And downtown is where you have our faculties of engineering and computer science, our fine arts faculty, which is world famous. Arts and science is split between the 2, and the John Molson School of Business. Has anyone here heard about the John Molson School of Business before? All right, a couple of you. It's actually very, very well known, especially with our Asian students. So as I mentioned, Montreal is a city of universities. It's a city of colleges. It's a city of students. And where there's a lot of students, there's a lot of innovation, and there's a lot of research. And, oh, thank you. And so Concordia, all the universities in Montreal are trying to define themselves a little bit differently. So what is it that gives us a little bit more of an edge? And I think what I love about Concordia, and I studied there, and I work there now, after having worked in different places, is that Concordia is small relatively to some of our other universities, which means that it can be a lot more agile. So it can really move to how the market is moving. And I think that's what makes our programs very cutting edge. Especially whether it's on the credit side or continuing education. So Concordia is not really afraid to experiment with different types of ways of learning. They are a lot faster to move into industry partnerships, for example, and this is something that you'll see recurring in our programs. So who are we? What is Concordia Continuing Education, which is who I represent, and what do we do? Well, we offer, I'll start with a little bit about what we offer. We offer different types of programs. So we have over 115 non-credit courses. We have multiple full-time intensive programs that you can see here. So business, graphic design, social media marketing. We have a very popular intensive English language program, which is a gateway into the university. And we also have multiple part-time diploma and certificate programs. I do have to stress that Concordia Continuing Education is non-credit. So we're not a credit. You do not take courses and receive credits that can be transferred to the faculties. We also offer a lot of customized training and workshop training for businesses. And I'm just going to add to what's here and tell you that we also have a lot of study abroad programs. So we have groups that come from France, from Mexico, amongst other places, who come and we create customized programs for them. We are also an IELTS test center, and I think Michael is going to be speaking after me from Kale, and we are moving in the direction of Kale. That was your setup, Michael. So who are the students who come to Concordia? So we are really very much geared. So we do have our international student programs, our study abroad programs, but our programs are largely geared to professionals who are looking to either reskill or cross-skill. So I actually do not work in recruitment directly. I work in program development. That's really my role. And so I work a lot with industry to identify what it is that they need, what are the competencies that are lacking, and how it is that we can ensure that our students develop those skills that they can apply in the workplace. So our students are largely looking for professional skills. We also, like say for example, you're someone who is doing a degree in engineering, but you would like to do a certificate or a diploma in business. That would be an example of how you would complement a study path. And we're also here for anyone who just has an interest in taking courses in an academic setting. So the Concordia Continuing Education has students from all over the world, but the largest proportion of our students come from Asia, as you can see, and we love that. And I do have to add that Montreal, as you may know, is extremely multicultural, and that's something that we're very, very happy about and that we want to continue to promote. Oh, all right. Meti is going to come and talk to us a little bit about the special packages that Concordia Continuing Education has through ApplyBoard.
Thank you so much, Sharzad, so far. Let's end that class. So this is so exciting because it's not easy to work with a good brand like Concordia and not only work, but also get an exclusive program, which is making the job much harder. So the first program title called, it's bad there, it's called Business Studies, Human Resource plus French Communication. The student does not need to have a French background. They only need IELTS overall 6, not 2.5, not 2 band lower than 5.5. It's a postgrad, so the student has to have 2 years diploma for it. The tuition fee for that program is $14,800, $1,000 guaranteed scholarship to every student that they're applying, thanks to Concordia. So the program, it is almost 8 months. All the 4 programs that we have is 8 months. And as you know, Concordia is in postgraduate work permit. They're, they're eligible for that. So you don't need to be worried. And it's a great, great opportunity for students that they want to go for 8 months, but at the same time, they want to learn multiple things at once. One of the main reasons that we didn't just put business studies, these programs, we actually gave it a lot of thoughts and data behind it, how we can make sure the students taking these programs are going to be successful. That's why we combine multiple things together to make sure the success of the students comes after that. This is the first program. Second program is, the first program is start June. So the June 25th is the start date of the program. So you have to apply now. One thing that I want to add, the application fee in our website is $625, but that's not application fee, that's tuition deposit. If your student does not get acceptance letter, you get the money back. If the students get acceptance letter, that goes part of the tuition fee. So there is no application fee for it. When you see $625, don't think that's application fees. If you don't get acceptance letter, it's back. So this is a side note to just make sure. Next one is a graphic design plus social media marketing. Again, combining 2 good programs together because our graphic design is a good thing for people they want to grow in the social media marketing. So we combine both programs in order to make it easier for students to grow. And more importantly, as again you see, the 8-month program is starting in September, and more importantly, it's extremely affordable. $13,500, again $1,000 scholarship. So all 4 programs, there is $1,000 scholarships on it, and all 4 programs are under 15,000. A lot of you guys know postgrad under 15,000 with a good university is unheard of. So this is, again, amazing opportunity that we had, and we are going to hopefully offer this program in multiple intakes, but for a start was this. Third program is a front-end development with the business content. Again, we wanted the people doing the front-end development is the computer, and I don't think so I need to sell the Concordia has one of the best computer programs. A lot of computer science students graduating from there, they get the job. Actually, in our own company, we hired 2 technology, like the front and back developer that were graduated from Concordia. So again, this program is a mix of front-end development and business content. It's a little bit pricier, but with the $1,000 scholarship, it still would be $14,800. It's just because it's a neat part of the lab, so and the students has to take lab. For the other 3 programs, you have to have 2 years diploma. It's okay if it's not from background, all 6, another 2 band 5.5. This one is still stay the same, there is one different. The student has to do the interview because the section that is with the lab, they're doing it with the third-party company that actually has to accept the student. So the other 3 programs, it's much easier to get into it. This program, they have to have a background from IT or computer. If they don't have a background from computer, it's not easy to get to this program. That's the other 3. And the last program is the Big Data and Entrepreneurship. And that's what I'm so exciting about. This is one of the programs that I think is actually, it's gonna be much more. Big Data and Data Scientist is some 2 programs that there is a huge opportunity for it after graduation, because we're moving toward we don't think anymore. We put the data together, data tells us what we do. So this is an amazing program that we put it together, so entrepreneurship and big data. Again, 8 months program, $12,500. And you might say, why is it so cheap? Because when I was talking negotiating with Concordia, I wanted this program to be the cheapest one because I know this program is gonna be huge. And I know that add a lot of value. So the students only pay $11,500 after the scholarship. Again, it's fall, you don't need to have a background. It is suggested to have background in physics or data or those so you understand it, but it's okay if they're not. So engineering students would be able to apply. Again, all 4 programs, no application fee, $625 is a tuition deposit, is not application fee. If you don't get it, you get the money back. So you don't need to be worried about it, and it goes portion of the tuition fee. It is a great program if you guys get the students in Canada and they want to do it, so they're already in there, they're finishing their first year PG and they want us to do the second year PG. That's a great opportunity for them. And that's pretty much for program. Let Sharzad continue on the others. It is extremely exciting news, and I'm needing every single of you guys' support to make sure we deliver good students, qualified students to this program to be able to continue this with other schools and continue the same partnership with Concordia. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Mehdi. Yes, so we're all very excited about these programs also, and looking forward to receiving students from here. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the student experience and how it is that we maintain high quality within our programs. So in terms of the student experience, our classes are quite small. We have a maximum of about 25 students in a class. And within our programs team, we were all former teachers. So our director of programs was a teacher, and I think that makes a really big difference because we have a really strong appreciation for how important the experience in the classroom is and how much it affects the students when they go out into the work world. And so we have worked hard and we continue to work hard to design programs that are competitive in those ways. And one of the things that we do, one of the pillars of our philosophy, is the incorporation of something called the 21st century skills. So what are the 21st century skills? They have been established by the P21, and so they include the fact that as informed citizens, we need to have our knowledge, our content knowledge, but there are also other aspects that contribute to making us successful. And so these include things like digital knowledge, and that's made up of things like information literacy, media literacy, digital literacy. So these are things that even in a program like entrepreneurship or a program like Java, a diploma in Java programming, these are skills that we incorporate. Another aspect of the 21st century skills are the 4 C's. So the 4 C's are communication, creative thinking, critical thinking, and collaboration. These are all skills that we need in order to be successful in our jobs. And so again, these are skills that we incorporate within our very technical programs to our more, or to our less technical programs. All of our programs are very hands-on. The experience in the classroom is extremely hands-on. We are proponents of project-based learning, where students work on a project that mimics the complexity of the workplace. And we also introduce problem-based learning, which is problems from the industry that students can work on in the classroom. Excuse me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the teachers, because I work also very closely with the teachers. So our instructors are largely from industry. Our teachers are not researchers. Our teachers are working in the industry and also teaching on the side. And what the value added that brings is that they're bringing relevant knowledge and practices to the classroom all the time. When they start with us, we have a teacher coaching program in place to help them develop their teaching intuition and skills. So they work very closely with a teacher consultant in order to talk a little bit about what's going on in the classroom, what it is that they need to improve, how it is that they need to improve, how can you make your class better for the students. So that's another component that we have. We are also very committed to professional development for teachers. So every semester we're always putting on activities to make sure that, that our teachers are maintaining excellent